Hi, you guys. So let's talk. Today when I woke up, I seen when I went to, look at the time, it said 555 on the tablet. So I looked it up to see, like, well, let's just see what it means. And I normally put 555 angel numbers, the meaning of it, and that is what I typed in. But for some reason, it came up this way: 555 angel numbers meaning in Bible, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, like so, but this is what it said it meant. In a biblical context, 555 represents divine transformation and God's abundant grace during periods of change. And I was like, wow, obviously God's been talking to me a whole lot lately. And not just God, but like I've been hearing my ancestors very clear. Thankful. I'm so thankful that God allows them to, still reach out to me and still be here to help me fight my battles. Well, those of y'all that don't know, one of my ancestors I'm very proudly um, the daughter of, which is my dad. Um, so my dad has been coming to me a whole lot lately, just like a whole lot. I can feel him, I can smell him, I can hear him. Like, I'm like, okay, dad. And dude, my dad is so funny. If you guys ever met my dad or seen my dad, or those that know my dad is extremely funny. So, my dad kind of came to me and told me, I left you something, and because I left it to you, so many people are after you, basically. That's why they're after you. And I didn't understand it because I'm like, well, what does that mean? Like, what did you leave me? What is it? And um, I was thinking about like a million things that my dad could have left me. But the only thing that I kept thinking of was, well, you left me unconditional love and you showed me what unconditional love is. You left me a heart of gold, a heart. I'm truly a type of person that wears my heart on my sleeve. And I guess because a lot of the way I feel and a lot of the way I think came from my dad. People seem to be antagonizing me and are coming um towards me and coming towards me hard. Um but I seen my dad like crying and saying, "Baby, that's not what I wanted. You're my princess. I never wanted um people to come to you or try to hurt you. That's not why I done that." And before my dad had passed away, this is like I was living across the street. Like the last year of my dad's life, I lived right across the street from him. So me and my dad would talk all the time. So when your parents tell y'all to do something, y'all should really do it because you never know if you're promised tomorrow. So don't give your parents a rain check. Um, my dad, I remember him coming to me and saying, "Baby, I want you to help me," because I had my computer, my tablet, and stuff. And he said, "I want you to help me make videos so I can give each of my kids a video." And like, and I said, "Yeah, Daddy, I'll help you." Yeah, and honestly, I never did. I didn't never help my dad do that, and I wish I would have. But one of our conversations one time was him telling me, everything I have, everything, I'm gonna leave it to you. I'm gonna put it all in your name. But he said, only because I know you'll know the right thing to do. I know you'll know who to give what to, and like what needs to be done, you know. Well, he had told me this before my family had decided to call CPS on me and like, do all this stuff to me. But I remember us having that conversation, and then like during like the whole time that CPS like came, and like me and my dad bumped heads during this time. But because I now know, like, I was putting my dad in a hard spot, like I would go over there and I would be crying and crying and crying, and I know he could feel like she's crying and she's hurt and she's a great mother. He would tell me that all the time. "You're such a great mother. I'm so proud of you." Um but he knew it was from the hands of um his other children, like. And I'm not saying that they didn't make me do drugs, but when they were doing drugs, and if they still were doing drugs, I never called CPS on them. I never, like, put myself in their business to that extent. Like, for them to have done it to me is just insane, I think. And not to mention, like, I'm gonna say it because obviously there's no point in me biting my tongue on this. But after my family had called CPS on me, um, my mother and my brother went to my house asking me for drugs. And mind you, this is after they called CPS on me. And like my brother didn't ask for it, but he was sitting there next to my mom, and I'm sure they both knew what they were going over there to ask. And then I had another brother that went over there and like took my car and took me to a house to go get drugs, basically. And it wasn't for me. I didn't even know that's what we were doing. That's just what ended up happening. As I'm watching, I'm thinking like, okay, he really wants to talk to me. He wants to apologize for what he did, like this and that. And um, he's driving kind of crazy and like, don't lie to me. Tell me if you're still on drugs, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, what is your problem? Like, um, well, he ends up taking me to one of his people's houses to get stuff for him. And I'm like, what the heck? But this is just the kind of stuff like that um, they've done to me. And it's unfair. Like, y'all done these things to me. You had my mom and my brother go to my house and ask. You had this brother take me to his. And like, y'all called CPS on me. And I don't have my children right now because. So, like, that saying of don't point out the speckle in your friend's eye when you have a whole log in yours is very valid. It's something that I can completely understand and see why God said that. But the point of me saying that is because I remember me and my dad having a conversation, and my dad telling me, like, I'm crying to him and he's just hugging me. And he said, baby, I'm so sorry you're going through all this. Like, I don't even know what to say. You know, and I'm like, well, you don't know what to say. Well, say that they're wrong. Say that they shouldn't have, and you still talk to them, and you're not mad because I don't have my girls, and and I remember like my looking at me and saying like, baby, you'll get them back. You're gonna get them back, okay? And he's like, maybe like, he said I can't say. I remember him clearly saying this. I can't say for sure what it was, and he told me which of the two family members were more pushing for it. But he said, so I don't know if those two family members, if it came from the true kindness of their heart, or if your mom really came here to defeat and destroy like she always does. And I'm like, okay, like, but I remember thinking like, but you're talking to them. I don't understand. Like, why aren't you mad? And like, just being like, I want you to. And he was like, baby, I know. He said, um, it's not my place to choose. It's not my place to say to be it's not my place to say, I have to be mad at them because I love you, but I love them the way I love you. And he's like, and I'm like, I know, Dad, I know. But I remember still leaving that day, like, how does he not see that, like, um, they hurt me and that I'm hurt, and that he's still like basically choosing them, and like he's still letting them do all these things, and he thinks it's okay. And like, after that conversation with me and my dad, I remember like I was kind of upset because I'm like, the right thing to do is to be with the one that's right. But then in his eyes, like I see now, like I wasn't right either. I was doing drugs. I was, acting in a manner that I normally wouldn't act. And like I was in a relationship that he um didn't approve of, but he wasn't like, he was always constantly still trying to give positive feedback to us, like, y'all got to pray to God, y'all got to stay strong, y'all got to, y'all got to prove them wrong. If y'all really want this to work, y'all can't be fighting, y'all can't. My dad just giving us like uplifting, like, encouragement. But now that I don't have my dad, and I listen back to like our conversations that we had, um I am extremely grateful for them. And I do know, like, um he is I believe my dad is definitely in heaven. I believe that he's one of my strongest soldiers. And if you know my dad, you know that I was his princess. Me and my dad done a lot together. We traveled quite a bit together. We were with each other quite a bit. There were times in our lives where it just so happened to be like, I swear me and my dad lived the same exact life. But I remember around this time, my mom and him had separated, and me and Jeremy had just separated. And me and my dad went to a Luke Home concert. I said, Dad, he said, yeah. And I said, well, I got 2 tickets from work to go see Luke Home. You want to go? And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, dude, we had like the best time that night. And I wouldn't have wanted it with anyone else. We were both going through like a really hard time in our life, and both sad and distraught at the time. But we both came together that one night, and we just had like the best time. We laughed, we joked. My dad was dancing, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I got to see that. And like in that moment, I remember thinking, like, because I was still sitting there all sad. You know, he had already been separated a little longer than I had. And I remember looking at him and thinking, like, if my dad can do it, look at, he's so strong, then I know I can do it. He lost his wife of 30 years, you know. And I just remember being just so grateful for seeing this man who's like raised me, and how his strength just was. And even though he was hurting, he was trying to protect me. Even though he was sad and his heart was, he was still trying to make me laugh. You know, that's what my dad did. So I just want you guys to know that if y'all think I'm alone, and just because my dad's not here does not mean that I am. My dad is still here beside me every day, and he shows me in little subtle ways and signs, and I can feel him. And um, God has been great to me, and that he's allowed me to still feel the presence of my dad. And my dad will go to the end of the earth for his children. So the next time you guys, or that y'all keep trying to hurt me and y'all don't give me what belongs to me, my dad already told me what he left. Um, no justice, no peace. And I'm going to keep saying that. I don't care who gets mad and who doesn't like it, or who, that's what it is. And I will get down to the bottom of everything when it comes to my dad. Y'all have a good day, and be nice, and pick up trash.